Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of Blessings in Surprise. In today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to save your family tons of money by making your own homemade laundry detergent. This is a super easy recipe, so I hope this is something that benefits your family as much as it has mine. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Let's get started. Hey, coming to you live from my laundry room. I am about to make some of our homemade liquid laundry soap, and I thought I'd videotape it and show you guys because I did mention this in a previous video, but didn't really show you the step-by-step how to make it. So we are starting with just 3 ingredients. That's all it is. It's really simple and they're very cheap ingredients. So this is very inexpensive laundry detergent. You'll need washing soda, not baking soda, but washing soda, different thing. You'll need some borax, and you need Fels-Naptha soap. And that's it, just hot water. That's all it mixes in with it. So the first thing you do is you just get a cheese grater and grate up this bar of soap. You're supposed to use 2/3 of a bar. So I'm gonna start with the third I have left over from last time and then use another third of this bar. So if you see me switch bars of soap, that's why. But that's really the hardest part of the whole process, is just grinding the soap on the cheese grater, because other than that, you just mix powder in with water. It's like making Kool-Aid, and you just stir, and that's it. So I'll show you how it goes. So I'm gonna start just by putting a little bit of hot water in the bottom of this to help the Fels-Naptha dissolve. And you want to get this water really, really hot because you're trying to melt this soap. By the way, don't mind our laundry room. Our house, we live in an old farmhouse. It's almost 200 years old, I believe. So nothing in our house is shiny and new. Nothing is spotless. It's just, I mean, we love our house, don't get me wrong. But sometimes I'll watch other people's videos and think, oh man, it would be great to have that spotless, shiny, white laundry room with the tile floor, and ours is 200 years old, so, you know, it is what it is, but it works for us. So just don't mind the stains in the sink and all that other stuff. That's life on the farm. I'm just making sure I don't actually melt my bucket by making it too hot. That's enough water to start with. So I have a cheese grater with 4 different sides. I use the side with the smallest holes because it makes sense when you're trying to melt something down to use the smallest crumb possible. So I'm just gonna grab my Fels-Naptha. Like I said, I'll use this third that's left over from last time. I'll throw that there for now, I'll deal with that later. So you're just gonna grind it up on the smallest setting. And like I said, this is honestly the hardest part of the whole process. Just takes a little bit of elbow grease. You could try to do this in a food processor. If you want, just cut this soap into chunks and stick it in the food processor. But I was afraid I was gonna get like soap scum all over the blades in my food processor. And even though this is kind of annoying, I only have to do it once every few months, and it doesn't take that long, maybe like 10-15 minutes to grind it all up. So I just deal with it so I don't ruin my food processor. But hey, if you want to try it out and let me know how it goes. Let me know if it ruins it or not. Maybe I'll try it someday. Now this I actually do put through the dishwasher, but I hose it out first in the sink and get all of this soapy gunk out, and then I put it in the dishwasher just so I don't get any like weird soap residue in there. So I'll deal with that in a minute. But now it's time to stir. I'm gonna grab my drill. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed my power screwdriver and my stirring stick. Again, I don't know what this is called, but it stirs my laundry detergent. It's an attachment you can put into your drill or screwdriver that is long enough to stir in a 5-gallon bucket, so you can use it for paint or anything you need to stir that's really deep. And I'm just gonna put this together. There it is. So I'm gonna stir this up a little bit. Oopsie, wrong button. And I'll show you what that looks like so far. It's getting nice and bubbly in there. Okay, now I'm going to add the other 2 ingredients. Stay, be a good camera. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the washing soda and the borax, and for both of those things, you just need 1 cup of each. I'm so graceful with this. Hang on. Got a big chunk in the way. Let me just... There we go. Now I can pour it. It's a nice thing about putting it in a plastic container is you can do that. You try to do that in the cardboard box, you're gonna have a mess. All right. That's better. All right, close enough. There's 1 cup of washing soda. And 1 cup of borax. All right. And that's it. Now you just fill the bucket the rest of the way with hot water and stir. It's as easy as that. Now, if you're somebody who likes to have the fragrance detergent, you can add some essential oils in here. Like you could do mint or lemon or orange or lavender, whatever you want it to smell like. I don't have any essential oils, so I don't bother, but I think it smells fine to me. Honestly, like the clothes don't come out smelling bad, so it's fine for me. So I'm just gonna keep stirring until the bucket's full. All right, so here's the finished product. It is spinning because I was just stirring it, but at this point it's still pretty liquidy. It's gonna thicken up a little bit after it cools off, but it won't be thick like syrup, like store-bought detergent. It is gonna be pretty liquidy, and that's fine. When you go to use it, if you're doing a smaller regular load, I use 1 cup. If you're doing a large load, I use 2 cups or just 1.5, you know, just estimate based on the size of your load, but I would say minimum of 1 cup, maximum of 2 cups is what you need. And do realize that when you fill a 5-gallon bucket with water, you then have to move that 5-gallon bucket to wherever its resting place will be. So if you cannot lift a 5-gallon bucket full of water, what you'll want to do when you're making this is have it sitting on the floor and just pour water into it from another vessel so that you don't have to lift it off the floor once it's full. But I keep this just sitting in this little spot over here on the floor right next to the washer and dryer, and I just keep a 1-cup measuring cup just sitting on top of it. And I know it's like caked with soap, but I mean, it's soap, like it's not dirty, so I don't really care. It's not like it's gonna make my family sick. It is literally soap, so whatever, it can just be that way. But if you're someone who's like real picky about that, then I don't know, maybe wash it every time you do laundry, but I just don't really care that much, so it's fine. Anyways, I'm gonna put this over on the floor, and then what you wanna do is let it sit overnight, and then the next day you're going to stir it again. So you wanna take the lid off the next day and stir it again before you use it, and then you should be good to go. As you can see, I do have a backup plan because we ran out of soap like 2 days ago, and I just didn't have time to make more, so this was the backup plan. I told the kids, like, just use regular detergent. We actually had that sitting here because when we went on vacation, I bought that to take with us so I didn't have to mess with a 5-gallon bucket of soap when we went on vacation. So I was glad those were here because I did run out. So you probably also noticed the OxiClean sitting on the shelf. That is something I use if I have something that has really, really bad stains in it. I think I've mentioned before, we live on a little homestead. We have barn animals, we have dogs, we roll in the mud a lot. We're always getting super dirty. So if I have something that has really bad stains in it, sometimes I will soak it in OxiClean before I put it in the washer. But this detergent does do a pretty good job of getting dirt out in general. So just your everyday average dirt will come out. But the OxiClean is there just for those extra times that just regular detergent won't cut it. So just to sum things up, the main reason we do make our own laundry detergent is just to save money because it is a fraction of the cost of store-bought detergent. It is so inexpensive. I just can't justify buying store-bought. Plus, you know exactly what's in it. You don't have any dyes or added fragrances that you don't want in there. So you have more control over what you're putting onto your clothes. But hopefully you found this helpful, and I hope you try this out. I will post links in the description box for any of the products that I mentioned here today, including that stirring stick that I can't remember what it's actually called, but I will find out for you, and I'll post links to all of that stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.